Welcome one, welcome all. This is Majaliwa Machinda. I welcome you to this expose. I'm asking a question. What happens when a lady changes their name into the surname of their husband? What happens? Looking this into Western perspective, it's a kind of culture. I was reading a lot of articles on how the Western world adopt changing women's surnames when they get married. And looking into African perspective, I found it quite interesting, and I found it very far different from one view to the other. On the Western view is a kind of ownership. When a woman gets married and changes their surname into the surname of their husband, there is a kind of ownership that woman now ceases to belong to their family or to her father and now belongs to the husband. And that patriarchal ownership has not left yet the Western world. That's why every man married will always tend to give their surname to their wife. And automatically it's a sign of ownership. It's a sign of belonging. The woman stops to belong to the other side, and now she belongs to this side. And it is a bit annoying and somehow controversial when this same world says there is human right. That lady you are changing their surname has the right to trace their background, where they come from, and the only way to do that is through the name. But you've taken away this name that brings them identity, and you've installed a new name that will totally change their story. It's somehow controversial because it doesn't align with human rights. The woman has a right to maintain their dignity and to maintain their history, where they come from. I find it awkward when you meet a lady who is more than 18 years, only that when you meet for a period of time, you get married, this lady has to change the whole story. She loses all the history of where she was born. Sometimes it's a bit easy when you all belong to one culture. But what happens when you belong to different cultures? Imagine you are from Africa and you get married to a Chinese and you take Hong Hong as your surname. It will always bring confusion to such a woman bearing such a name. It doesn't connect in any case. And I was interested to research further over those white ladies who get married to the Africans or to the black men. Do they really change their name into Emeka, into Majaliwa, into Lusambia? I was trying to research there and I found some interesting results, that these Western ladies, though they get married to a foreign culture, they still maintain their surname. Okay, hang on a minute. It's like this ownership is not equitable. I am getting married to an Australian woman, to a Western woman, and I want them to take Majaliwa or to take Machinda as their surname. Will they be able to do that? I think no. Sometimes it's a bit practical when they marry each other from a slightly the same culture. Maybe someone is from France and another one is from England, or someone is from Sweden and another one is from Russia. At least their culture is not far removed because they belong to one geographical area, and even their languages are not far different. But I was trying to imagine to that extent where women will have to forsake all their cultural values and embrace the new cultural values, and they become a property of that man because they are now bearing their name. This culture is violating human rights. Any activist out there, I would like you to come up with comments and see how we can address this issue of women who deserve to live their dignified life, who deserve to connect to the family where they were born. Now they are being compelled to remove their original surnames and take the other name of the husband. Now my question comes, what happens to these ladies when they divorce with their husbands? What happens to their entire identity? In one time they had this surname. When they got married, they took a different surname. And when they divorce, where do they go? Do they go back to the name of their father? Or do they wait until they remarry to take the other surname of the new husband? It's quite confusing. And my message is for you ladies. Why should you accept to be messed up just around in the name of love? Why should you say we are equal while your right is being violated? You have the right to bear the name of your father. That's your identity. That's your family. That's where you come from. How long will you be taking names? How long will you be changing your name? Women, talk to me. How long will you be changing your profile?
Yeah, so I took Shane's name. Then when we divorced, I went back to Nolan on all my, paperwork and passport. Then I married Ray and took his name, so I had to change it all again.
You've been toing and froing really to that passport office.
Yeah, I've just put name to be confirmed on my next one.
If there's a space in the world where women are owned, it's a Western space, where all the Western women, white women, though in Asia, though in Europe, though in America, they are all white, depending on their color of skin. Those are being owned by their husbands because they have to change their name when they get married. So they stop to be the daughters of their fathers and they become the daughters of their own husbands. In the Australian Constitution, they only allow someone to change their name 3 times in their lifetime. Imagine you had your surname, then you got married to a man, you change your surname to their surname. That's the first change of name. And then you divorce that person, you get angry, you feel like you are no longer interested in getting married, then you go back to your original surname. That's the second change of name. And then after 4 or 5 years, you feel like you've got another darling who is ready to take you in marriage. Immediately after getting married to this other man, you change your name, your surname again, into their surname. That's the 3rd time. And imagine you are somewhere in 30s, 32, 35, somewhere. You go with this man around the age of 40, 45, things are not working well with this man. And then you decide to divorce him. The time you divorce this second man, you're still bearing their surname. And now you are feeling like I need to live a free life. At the age of 45, you've already changed your name 3 times in Australia. What will happen next? Will you get another chance to change your surname? No. What if at the age of 50 you find another darling and that person will always say, no, I cannot have a wife with the surname of another man. Can you please take my surname? You try to apply, but it can't be because you've already changed 3 times. You see how much you are in a mess? I'm trying to imagine in another perspective. How long will a woman be a property of a man? If you look this same issue into African cultural setting or black people's settings, wherever they are, they've got a different way of treating women. This is the only race where women are treated with dignity. They are not owned. Women will still preserve their identity from where they came from. And of course, there is a dowry which is being paid as an appreciation to their parent. And after paying dowry, you don't change their name. They continue bearing the name of their father. So it shows kind of respect these women have in their marriages. And anytime when they divorce or their husband dies, they are still having the same identity, the same profile. And when they get married to another man, it's just the same. That's where women have never changed. they have maintained their status, they've maintained their profile. And even biblically speaking, even in the Quran, the person who blesses children is the father who pronounces blessings to the children. Abraham blessed his children, Isaac blessed his children, and Jacob also blessed his children. So the blessing goes from the father to the child, be that child a female or male. So with that blessing, that person will maintain the name of their father as their surname throughout life. If your father dies, you cannot have another father. It can't be. Your father is just one and only one under the sun, be they alive or dead. That's the advantage to bear the name of your father throughout your life. You don't have to change any name. You don't have to impress anyone. They are your husband. Let them bear their history as you also bear your history. And then you walk along. Guess what? Your children will also bear the name of their father, not their surname. Take note of this. Not their surname, the name of their father. And it goes like that. You don't have to be matching. You say, no, we want to match here. You know, my husband is Majaliwa, Machinda. So I also have to be with their surname because our children will take the same surname. No, my children cannot take my surname. My surname is the name of my father. And when I give my children their surname will be my name. And it goes like that. Stand up for your right, you women. You don't need to be busy celebrating these birthdays, Mother's Day, Women's Day. No. Get out of those celebrations and take back your identity, your profile. You don't have to change your name. No, but your father is still your father. They've put the seed into your mother and your mother nurtured you in the womb and now, boom, you are born. You can't change that any longer. But you are free. The Bible, the Quran, and any other book allows you to get married when your husband dies, even if you are not in conflict. What will happen to the other man? Will the other man allow you to continue bearing the name of the dead husband? No. They will compel you to change again, and you keep on changing and changing and changing. Please, women, including those Western women, and our Africans women who want to copy everything, wake up and claim your identity. Build your profile around your family. However you get married, it doesn't cut you from your family.